Hey guys, let's go ahead and go over the problem set. So we're going to look at question number one. Question number one here is about a bird that was perched 15.5 feet in a tree and dives down 6 feet. So let's go ahead and identify our integer or our rational numbers here. That's going to be positive, and that's going to be down 6 feet. That's going to be a -6. How far above the ground is the bird's new location? So we need a number line that goes to at least 20. I went ahead and thought about this ahead of time. You know, if I have a number like 15.5, I need to be able to go to at least 20. Or I need to be able to go to at least 15.5, so I'm going to choose 20. So I got out my number line that goes up to 20, and we're going to go ahead and put that on here. So I'm starting at 0, and it says that he goes 15.5 feet. It'll be 15.5. And the next part of the question says he goes down 6 feet. So here I have to think about it. He's going down 6. So I'm at 15.5. If I go down that 6, if I was at 15 and I went down 6, I'd be at 9. I'm a little bit ahead of 15, so I'm going to be a little bit ahead or above of 9. So it's going to be like 9.5 feet here. Okay. And there's your answer to number one. Would have been nice to do that on a vertical number line, possibly, because you're talking about height or elevation that the bird's at. Okay, number two, we're going to talk about Mariah. She owed her grandfather $2.25. Owed $2.25. That sounds like a negative number to me. And she was able to pay him back $1.50. While she was paying $1.50, she was actually decreasing her debt, which means that she would have more money. So this is actually a positive $1.50. We need to think about it in the context of the problem, because we want to know how much she owes. Well, if she's paying it back, she's decreasing the amount that she owes. It's like a double negative. If you decrease what you owe, you have more. Okay, negative 2.25, negative 2.25, and 1.5 or $1.50. So we're going to go negative 2.25, negative 2.25 here, and then we are going to go positive 150. So let's go 1, and that puts us at 125, and let's go another 50 cents, and that should put us at negative 75 cents here. All right, that's simple. Jake is hiking a trail that leads to the top of a canyon. The trail is 4.2 miles long. Jake plans to stop for lunch after he completes 1.6 miles. How far from the top of the canyon will Jake be when he stops for lunch? Okay, so we are actually I'm going to treat this like a negative number, because he needs to go, he is if the top of the canyon is 0, right? That's the top of the canyon. The trail is 4.2 miles long, so that means he is at negative 4.2 miles currently. That's where he's starting from. He's going to travel 1.6 miles in a positive direction. Where will he be when he stops for lunch? So let's go ahead and use the number line. Let's go negative 4.2. And then he's going to hike 1.6 miles in the positive direction. So we are going to go, if I go 1, that puts me at 3.2. If I go 0.2, that puts me at negative 3. And then I would have another 0.4 to go. So it's 1.6, and that would put me at negative 2.6. This one is a little more difficult on the number line. When you think about those decimals, it's not really clean. I would almost recommend just using traditional algorithms. Negative 4.2 plus 1.6. Signs are different, so we need to subtract and keep the sign of the number with the greater absolute value. This number has the greater absolute value. negative 4.2. So my answer is going to be negative. Signs are different, so I'm going to subtract 4.6 minus, 4.2 minus 1.6. 4.2 minus 1.6 is going to be, I'm going to borrow, that becomes 12 tenths. I'm going to subtract, I get 6. 3 minus 1 is 2.6, or 2 and 6 tenths. And that's my answer, negative 2 and 6 tenths. All right. Sanji and her friend Rachel are competing in a running race. When Sanji is 0.4 miles, or 4 tenths of a mile from the finish line, she notices that her friend Rachel has fallen. She runs 1 tenth of a mile back to help her friend. So 4 tenths of a mile from the finish line, that's going to be a negative 4 tenths. And she goes back 1 tenth of a mile, so that's going to be another negative value. So she's going to be moving in the negative direction both times. So let's look at this, and I'm actually going to because we're dealing with tenths, let's make all of these, let's make this whole thing just go from negative 1 to 1. So this is, let's make it easy on us. Oh, sorry, that decimal will go right there. That's negative 1. And then if we put decimals here, we can make this 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, 6 tenths, 7 tenths, 8 tenths, 9 tenths, 1. So now my number line goes from negative 1 to 1. Okay, says that she goes negative 4 tenths, or she's at negative 4 tenths. We'd represent that with a vector of negative 4 tenths. And then she travels another negative 1 tenth. And now she's at negative 5 tenths. We made that a little easier to see by changing the scale of the numbers here, and that's within your power. Like you have the right to determine what your scale of your intervals is going to be. You have freedom over that. All right, sorry about that. Okay, number 5. Mr. Henderson did not realize his checking account had a balance of $200. Balance of $200, that's positive. When he used his debit card for a $317.25 purchase, that is negative $317.25. So 200 plus negative $317.25. We don't have a number line that fits that, so let's sketch one out. It's real easy to just sketch out, and you are in control. We're talking about 200 and 300, so let's make this around 500, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Okay, so I'm just going to create a number line that would fit on. Negative 100, negative 200, 3, 4, 5, negative 500, negative 400, negative 300. Okay, so now I've sketched out a number line that goes from negative 500 to 500. Okay, he has $200. So let's go to the right. 200. He spends $317.25. So if we go 200, we get back to 0, which means I have another $117.25 left to travel there, which means his value is going to be at negative $117.25. He's overdrawn in his checking account. He's in trouble. Okay. Last problem. This one's about as easy as it gets, okay? Made it, we'll finish with a bang here. If the temperature is negative 3 degrees at 10 p.m. and the temperature falls 4 degrees, that's negative 4. What is the resulting temperature? So, negative 3, and then negative 4, and you're at negative 7. Right there you go. All right, very easy and straightforward on that last one. And there you go. If you have any problems, if you have any questions about any of those, reach out to your teachers. We're here to help. We should all have office hours posted, so make sure you're taking advantage of those. All right, thank you.